session. So this is for indexes. I'll go ahead and add Forex here. So for indexes, I'm only looking to trade from 9:50 to 10:30. I know you're probably thinking, damn, that's not much time to trade. I know we're going to be on the market before that, ideally 30 minutes before market opens, so we can see and react to prices, whatever. We're not just getting onto the charts 20 minutes into market open. No, we're getting onto the charts 30 minutes before market opens, maybe even an hour before market opens. Ideally, it's an hour before market opens if you guys are just getting into this. But we're looking to take our trade from between 9:50 and 10. And then for Forex, so New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Pre-market for New York Stock Exchange opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's for indexes, like stocks and stuff. And again, I trade indexes, which is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. But for people who are trading Forex, so let's say you want to trade like GBP USD or Euro USD during New York session, because that's what works for you guys, 8 a.m. Eastern Time to 10 a.m. Eastern Time are going to be your guys' times to trade. Okay, that's Forex.
A good question is, how do I get started trading? A better question is, how do I drop it today?
London session opens at 3 a.m. All of this is done in Eastern Time, and I want to keep it as Eastern Time because I operate based. I'm not even on Eastern Time right now. I'm in Puerto Rico for an hour at Eastern Time, but I'm fully like my entire brain and my schedule operates off of Eastern Time because that's how the market's on. So London session opens at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. And ideally, you guys find your trade between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. I highly recommend you guys don't take any trades after 4 a.m. on London session. Same thing here on New York session. If you guys can't find a trade after 10:30, me personally, I would avoid trading for that entire day. Forex, same thing. You guys can't find a trade from 8 to 10 a.m.
So, general rule of thumb, I have a time limit between 9:50 and 10:30 to take a trade. That is to buy, and that is to sell, or that is to sell and to buy, to enter and to exit, right? The goal is to find an entry point within that time frame between 9:50 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. My wake up time should be around 9ish, 8 a.m. So that way I get the best deal on the best gist, right? From there, it's just a matter of heading into the trade and then putting the take profits where they are. When they're hit, exit market, or actually take off 50% of what I put in or what I have in, and then let it ride out until I hit more take profits. And then from there, just until done.
Finally, we got to what you guys came here for, how to place the fucking trade. The first thing that we are looking for is our key levels. We are going to mark these out on the chart. The first thing that we're waiting for is for price to hit a key level. When price hits a key level, whether it's a 1 hour high, 4 hour high, 1 hour low, 4 hour low, a London session's high, London session's low, Asian session's high, Asian session's low, previous day's high, previous day low, whatever it may be. Maybe a 1 hour value gap, maybe a 4 hour value, whatever it may be. We are waiting for price to hit these key levels. Then following that, we are going to scale down to the 5-minute time frame, and we are going to wait for a confirmation confluence. So,
I said that wrong. I said that completely wrong. So, I said there were 6 candles. If we were on the 4-hour time frame, right, there'd be 6 candles in the day, except market isn't open 24/7. In fact, it's divided, very much so divided by the nation, by which one's which. So we have legitimately this little section right here to work with, and then we have open, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be market close right there. In between this right here is Australian session, and then from here it's Asian session again. So, so I said that completely wrong. If that's the case, yes, each one of these candles represents 4 hours. Yes, one of these candles represents an hour right now because we're on the hourly time frame. But realistically speaking, there should only be 2 candles, 1, 2, that we can count right here. That's all we got from this. And per the day, it'd be this bunch right here that we're looking at. Relative, like from here to there, from there to about here. If I had to guess. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. It does. So he was saying mark out the previous day's highs and low. That's legitimately right here. That's also per the previous day right here. Boom. Right? We're not going to go past this at all. This is the previous day worth of price value. Where price went. Up, down, high, down, up, low. The highest for the day. That's every session on this day. Now that we've got that pretty much handled, taken care of, I believe move down into session time. Mark out highs and lows for each session, right? Well, we can't hardly see because it's 4 hours here. That's why he goes all the way down to the 30-minute, I think. This is me guessing at what he usually goes with, because on this little notepad he says 1 hour and 4 hour. Mark out session highs and lows, as well as look for liquidity, draws on liquidity, and the like. He goes all the way down to the 30 minutes to give a more in-depth view if he can't see anything on the 1 hour. Because, realistically speaking, he has all of this right here to work with, as well as the previous day's high and low, right? So, within this, he's divvying out what price might want to do. We're also looking for draws on liquidity, liquidity sweeps, the like. Draws on liquidity are highs and lows, right? And we can target previous lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We can also target the highs, all the way up here, all the way up there. This is a high. That's right there is a high. We can go all the way up there. But yeah, that's what he's working with. So I believe I've already done so, right? Because this is previous days. This is Asian session, high, low. London session, high. London session, low right there. Boom. I don't know why. What happened there? I'm confused. I'll confuse myself. I heard myself in my confusion. This right here. No, it'd be this right here. Down, up, low. Boom. No, don't restart. I'm working. Why would you want me to? So to find a low, you look up, down, and then highest point, and then to find a low is down, up, and then you find lowest point. Hey, buddy. Hi. How you doing? Hi. What's up, buddy? Oh, easy. You okay? You good? What's going on, buddy? Got you a cookie? Mm-mm-mm. Bye-bye. 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 Crazy buddy. He just wanted to say hi. So, wrong keyboard. Marking out highs and lows specifically. We have Asian sessions high and low. We have London session high and low. That should be correct. For this, we want to look at New York session high and low. That's the highest point and lowest point of the two, and that is right here. Boom. As well as right here. Down, up, low. Boom. Yeah, I understand how he looks at his cursor now to determine how he can like manipulate it and get close so to where it like clicks over like that, so as to see exactly where he's putting it. That works quite well. I'm slowly learning, slowly. So with this being said, I think from here, I'm going to say it and then I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to implement it because learning curve. My understanding is if a low has been crossed, so let's say Asian session, here's your high, here's your low. We go to London session, high, low. It wasn't crossed. Because this is the lower low of these two, we're not looking for this. I can delete that. Because this is the higher high of these two, I'm not looking for this. I can delete that. Moving on to this. From Asian session high and low to New York session high and low. The high wasn't crossed, so I'm not looking for this high. Boom. The low was, so I'm not looking for Asian session low. Boom. This is the gap I'm trading within. That is my understanding. I think he correlates session high and low with daily high and low as well. But for the sake of knowing, for my sake of knowing, I am not going to change the way it looks. For my sake, we're going to keep the daily high, the previous day's high and low visible. So we can see where price was moving before, right? We know we're in a downtrend. That's not the point. It's a matter of knowing where price could go, right? At least that's what I think personally. This almost looks already like it's in a liquidity sweep because we dipped down here and then we also had this right here. It retested this. As a result, we got a sweep off of this, which means we might actually be going into an uptrend now. But at the same time, yeah, it came down. We had a break of structure to the upside right here. This would have been like 5-minute break of structure, something like that right here. I had to say, not 5-minute, because this is, each one of these is an hour. So we had an hourly break of structure in this. It came back down to retest. It confirmed it. We had a breaker block here. It came up. We got an order block off of this right here. We had a liquidity sweep here. Now it's going to shoot back up in the coming hours. So I imagine from Friday's price action, Asian session is going to dip down a little bit. From London session on, it'll probably continue going up. That's my genuine thought on the matter. That's a thought. It's not a guarantee. It's my idea. I think it's going to continue up. Backing up from that, though. Going back to this, because I'm supposed to be identifying the session highs and lows. We've done that. We've also identified the previous day high and low. We're also now looking at... What else are we looking at? Waiting for price to hit key level. Realistically speaking, I think it already has. Because we had down up, lowest point between the two, a low here. Down up, lowest point here. It technically retested it with this candle, this low here. And it dipped down as a liquidity sweep, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I believe it looks like a liquidity sweep on the 4-hour, does it not? No, it doesn't. So, I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I can say that, chat. I think I'm wrong. That's okay. That's the whole point of this. I'm just learning it. from here, I think I need to press play on his video and watch specifically. Because I know what a break of structure is. I know what a fair value gap is. The newest terms to me are the SMT, which makes sense when you think of it as the two charts that are really close to each other doing something different. That part makes sense to me. I know how to identify that. What I am having trouble identifying are inverse fair value gaps and breaker blocks. And he had a really good type up earlier in this same video of what inverse fair value gaps are and what breaker blocks are when trying to figure out what price wants to do and how to use them accurately. I want to find it again too, because that was like a really good type up. That spelt out almost all of the, not the building blocks, but the specific. These are individual breaker blocks he's going over now. Breaker blocks. Building blocks he's going over. I think that's it right there. Okay, I have an ad. Shut up. Stop. Let's do this. Notepad. I want to scroll down and make notes. Because all of what's above this is stuff I've learned over the past year from another YouTuber and him as well. This is a combination of the two of their stuffs to form a better representation on what I'm supposed to do. So, notes. Yes, it's the same thing he's typing. Why am I copying him? What do you do in school? I'm serious. What do you do in school? You write down what you learn, so as to retain the information for free. You write it down once, you get a little bit into it. This isn't a publication of someone else's knowledge. Well, I mean, he's already published it. I'm just learning it. I'm taking notes down as the instructor is instructing me to. He has given us permission to take down notes from his video. So, confirmation signs. Why did it do that? There it goes. Structure. Inverse fair value gap. And SMT. Not T. Not Y. T. There we go. Boom. Tab. Continuation. We have fair value gaps. Order blocks. Breaker blocks. And equilibrium. So I also know what equilibrium is. Every time I've tried to explain it, it's been wrong. I'm going to say this. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to click off of that. I'm going to go over here. I can't see the notepad anymore, chat. This is equilibrium. That's not equilibrium. Hot dog. Man, how fast I got that wrong. I think this right here. Boom. Yeah, this is equilibrium. Boom. So within a price range, right? It's a tool, a retracement tool. It is a tool to use, right? It is a tool to identify when price is going to move within this little margin here. And typically what happens when price bumps up into this margin right here, it is a sign, it is a indication that price is going to dip back down. That is what equilibrium is. And I believe he does a little bit more of an in-depth explanation of it. As for my sanity and purpose, poor buddy, he fell into something. I don't know what though. We're going to try and continue this. Poor buddy. So, for my sanity in explaining this, I believe that's actually got me distracted. Dang. It's just when price goes up into this blue area, or if we're in an uptrend, it'll come down into this white area here, right? And then from there, it'll either bounce back up, or in this case, it'll come up into the blue and then dip back down. And as you can see, we haven't come back up into blue area yet for the downtrend. Yeah. So with that being the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way back to where I was before. So he has a note that's kind of blocked by his own camera, right? His face cam, it's a little big, so when he's got that blockage there. I believe what he said was something. I can see two words, price action, and then right after that needs to be rebalanced out via a retrace. Price is balanced through imbalance, right? You spot an imbalance over here, right? Like a fair value gap or an inverse fair value gap, and as a result, price wants to fill that gap or move away from it. And as a result, that equilibrium I showed just before will indicate whether or not it's retracing off of that fair value gap. So that's that. I want to go back to this right here. I'm going to unmute him.
Inverse fair value gap or a 5-minute SMT divergence. Once that happens, are we entering? No, because that just means, okay, the trend has shifted. But we want to know for sure, and let me draw this out for you guys. So let's say we have our key level, and let's just say we want to take a short trade, and we push into our key level to the upside. And then we get a 5-minute break junction. So this is where we're at.
So he said short trade, which means we're in a downtrend, right? That makes sense to me. And price moves back up into a key level. So we're looking at this right here. It moved back up into key level here. This is a low, right? But we don't want this low. We'd like to see it come up into this high right here. I imagine he takes whatever the closest is to the most recent low, considers that the key level, right? Because we've already crossed into it, right? We're looking for the shift in trend, which I believe has occurred with this move up. As a result, or actually, per this candle right here, I believe that would be the shift of trend. Would that not? Would it not be? I think this right here would be it now. This candle, specifically. Because if this right here had closed above it, above this low, it would have continued moving down. But because it didn't, there's an imbalance. And as a result, price needed to move back up and close above. We got to close above this here, break of structure. So breaker block, order block, and then this right here would be the confirmation break of structure, which would tell me we're moving back up in an uptrend, if that is the correct way to go about that. He's saying, though, if we're in a downtrend, just like this one is right here, right, and we had price move back up into a key level, we would look for the breaker block, the order block, and then the confirmation. But this is, he has it drawn like it's in an uptrend, right? Comes down into a confluence area, kind of like this right here, where we have this right here, right? It came back down into this key level. We look for another candle and it to come back up and break structure off of that. Let's continue watching. I'm going to continue watching this video. How many ads? I get it, bro. I get it, bro. I get it. 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 YouTube said, I want to give you all the ads today because you've seen this video 4 times. Yeah. Because I'd like to learn it. I want to rewind this a little bit.
Into our key level to the upside. Boom. And then we get a 5-minute break structure. So this is where we're at right now. We're on the 5-minute in and up trend up to that key level, obviously, right? It's a move up into that key level. And then we get a 5-minute break structure. After that, what's next in our process? So he's saying in an uptrend, and he's looking to take a short trade, which means he's looking for a shift to the downside through a 5-minute break of structure. That means in an uptrend, it's making a new low, right? As a result, from that low, he's looking for his confluences. 5-minute fair value gap. Order block. Breaker block. So he marked it. He marked it out as break of structure first. So I'm using this as reference. He's using break of structure, so he formed a new lower high because he's in an uptrend, right? So it would be lower high than this. He said breaker block, which means at the top of the previous move over here, he's looking for a small breaker block over here, right? I need to relearn the terminology for that, and I know as soon as I go back to it, it's going to break my stuff. I'm gonna learn it, and then I'm gonna just immediately after this, I'm gonna figure this out. So breaker block, or not breaker block, break of structure occurs after the move up that he's referring to. Fair value gap, we've already gone over that. It's essentially what we discovered way up here. All 3 of these are fair value gaps on the 1 hour. And then, or not the 1 hour, the 4 hour. This is 4 hour fair value gaps. That one has already been, yeah. What was the other thing? So the second we see price cross into any of the confluences we have before, right, on the 5-minute specifically, so we're still on the hour. Why am I talking about the 5-minute when I could be going to the 5-minute and just doing it there? Very good question. Very, 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 very good question. So I'm going to say price has hit key level, right? It's got on a 5-minute, wait for confirmation, break of structure, inverse fair value gap, or SMT.
We're looking for all of that. Break of structure. We have break of structure on this candle right here. Actually, because that right there would be the high. Up, down, this would be the high of it. Boom. What we'd be looking for, because we're in a downtrend, but we just broke structure. I think this right here would be the inverse for value gap. Because it filled almost immediately after, and price continued pushing up. Did we have, let's go down to 5 minute over here, just so we're on the same page. I'll do this right here. Boom. That is not what I was after. There we go. Boom. 5 minute break of structure. Same gist. This is the inverse for value gap. I'm having issues identifying break of structure. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to me how to find break of structure. When you have a high here and a low here, and then this right here closes above this, right? I guess it'd be this candle right here that we broke structure on. We had an inverse for value gap, break of structure. We have not seen that right there is a large indication of break of structure right there. Because that, yeah, that closed above it. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. No SMT. None right here. Anyway. From this, wait for 5 minute continuation, fair value gap. From the inverse, from the break of structure, from the SMT, we're looking for a fair value gap to form, which would be this right here. I believe we have had one form. This would be the fair value gap, as well as the break of structure in the same gist, right? We're looking for a huge candle wick down, which we're waiting for it to close below this, I think. Order block, which I don't think we've achieved yet. Breaker block. I don't know. Liquidity sweep. Push higher. I'm going to keep watching, and then I'm going to rewind and figure out break of structure, order block, breaker block, and inverse for value gap again. Why is crap going off on my computer? Don't care about no update. Shut up and wait patiently.
Into our key level to the upside. Boom. And then we get a 5 minute break of structure. So this is where we're at right now. We're on the 5 minute. The 5 minutes in an uptrend up to that key level, obviously, right? Because it needs to move up to get to that key level. And then we get a 5 minute break of structure. After that, what's next in our process? We're looking for either a 5 minute fair value gap, 5 minute order block, 5 minute breaker block, or 5 minute equilibrium. for price to retrade.
So would that be what it is right there then? I'm flipping it. So he's saying break of structure on 5 minute. You have higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, right? Lower high equating to break of structure. Flip that because we are currently in a downtrend, right? Boom. Higher low here. Higher low there. We broke structure on this. Boom, boom. Or actually, right here, we broke structure on that because that's a higher low when we were on a downtrend, lower low. From there, shoot higher, right? From that low, we're also looking for fair value gap. Off of this, boom. I think price is going to tank back down into this right here. I also think I'm wrong.
Into once price goes into one of those confluences, we're going down.
Going back to what I was saying, flipping it completely. I'm looking for that specific gist. The break of structure. And I think I nailed it. I think it's this right here. This was our break of structure that we needed on the 5 minute. And from here we continue up. But he's also zoomed apparently. Like he's explaining it, I assume, candle by candle. Right? If that's the case, wouldn't it be this right here? Higher time frame holds higher confluence, holds higher power. So just because we're in an uptrend here does not mean we're not in a downtrend on the higher time frame, which we are still in a very much so downtrend. Like this is a brief break of structure right here, going up. For the hour, we're going up, but we're still in a downtrend. This is a retrace that we're in at the moment. Is that a fair value gap right there? Is that what I'm seeing, chat? This right here? From here to there? See what I'm saying? You see it, chat? I think that's a fair value gap right there. Because it does not matter, I don't think. It's an inverse fair value gap. Price came down, but it didn't close through this. So if I had to guess, I'm going to say price is going to come back down. Just because that has been formed and I was able to spot it on the hour. So from here, we go back down into the 5 minute. Boom. This is the hourly fair value gap here. Leave it be right there. Does that make sense, chat? Makes sense to me. You make a sense. Kinda. Now,
Alright, so listen, on State Farm,
I legit have the video paused.
$533. And right now, prices mix. That open and close, it shows one single pair that you want to look at. So if you say, I want to trade to keep things simple, when the market goes up, does it just go up like this forever? Okay, it won't have any sort of trend, it won't have any sort of direction, there's no higher highs, there's no Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate. In an uptrend, what do people often do? They often place a massive amounts of orders to change the direction. What are they? I know you can't use the definition in the whatever, the name in the definition, but I often do this. It's imbalanced price action that needs balanced out. So imbalances slash fair value gaps.
For a second, I thought the monitor was on fire. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. All good though.
It's imbalanced price action.
Nothing crazy yet. We're good.
First of all, if you guys don't know what a matrix is, when we're in an uptrend, it's the down move. So the down move is called a matrix. So
That's what he has. That's a fair value gap.
in the greatest of all time. That needs
Imbalanced price action. That's what he had wrote down from before.
balance. So imbalances slash fair value gaps. I know I'm using whatever the definition. Deal with it. I'm not afraid. It's imbalanced price action that needs to be balanced out via a retrace. First of all, if you guys don't know what a retrace is, when we're in it, big baby, it just matters about what's inside you. Period. If you got that now, I'm gonna take it wrong. That's enough for now, okay? So a bearish fair value gap is from the first candlestick's wick down to the third candle.
Does not matter. He just got through explaining it. It does not matter what the color of the candle is. So long as there is one large candle in the middle, like this one, here, like this one here. And you have a candle on either side with a wick and another wick. It doesn't close in the middle. That's fair value gap. I know those. Yay.
Candlesticks. So what is there a lack of within here? There's a lack of buy orders. When price moves up into that, and then we need proof. And
He's going to explain it, I think. Looking for signs of reversal, liquidity sweeps. To confirm the reversal is regular structure, inverse fair value gap, and SMT. Continuation, that's continuing to go down. Fair value gaps, order block, breaker block, equilibrium. So maybe that's where I was confused at. Maybe that's where I'm a bit on the not so good side with things. Because I need to form an idea first. On the higher time frame, we're in a downtrend and we have fair value gaps high and low, right? On the 5 minute specifically, we have a fair value gap that has just been filled, but has not been disrespected yet. We're waiting for candle closure below. With that being the case, I think that's going to be a continuation, because that is literally what it is, right? We have not seen a liquidity sweep yet, and that is something we're looking for on the upside, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what this is right here. Liquidity sweep. This is a sign of reversal, but we need to confirm what's going to happen. So we're looking for that break of structure. That's what on top of the liquidity sweep is this break of structure here. Am I misinterpreting that? I think probably. However, per the notes and the confluences, I think we're going to continue in a downtrend. That's my genuine thought. So I'm looking for signs of continuation. That's fair value gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks, and equilibrium. Makes sense, right? Per the fair value gap, per what we have here, right? I was gonna throw an equilibrium thing up there, but don't think there's enough on this. I don't think I have enough on this. Does he continue for another 2.5 hours? Yes, he does. I don't know if it's
actual like belief in this new change of structure and in this new break of trend that we just had by showing what continuation of the trend via what fair value gaps. So just take a picture of that for now. We'll get back to that. But now I want to show you guys fair value gaps on charts. Just like liquidity sweeps, fair value gaps are on every single time frame. And this is something about fair value gaps. Going back to dicks, okay, fair value gaps are just like dicks. You don't want to fuck every single dick. Okay, there's only some dicks that you want. What I want you guys, give me 30 seconds so I can show.
no. You can show anyone, not me. I'm focused on what I got to take care of. You come after. And even then, I might not even go away.
Chart right now, identify 5 bearish fair value gaps, identify 5 bullish fair value gaps. What I want to show you guys on top of this lesson is show you guys how they get respected. Because fair value gaps can get disrespected, and they can also get respected. And this is kind of going to lead us into inverse fair value gaps right after this explanation. So, this right here, we have a bearish fair value gap. Why is it a bearish fair value gap? Because the third candle is a move gap. Okay, we have 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. We take the bottom wick of the first candle to the top wick of the third candle, and we just draw a little box on it. This fair value gap, it got filled, right? But then we got a candlestick closure above it. So what did we do to this fair value gap right here? We disrespected it. This fair value gap is no longer valid.
In making context, if we find a fair value gap, like this one right here, if we find a fair value gap like this one, and the candlesticks do not close below it, it is being respected. If it closes below it, it is disrespected.
For a fair value gap to get respected, we have to fill it without getting a candlestick closure above it.
So price moves in and no candle closes below, and we're going up and price is moving back down, right? If it closes below, that is disrespecting it. If it does not close below, it's respecting it. We're looking for the candle price movement. Price can move all the way through it and be fine. It's when it's closed above or below for the trend